Chicken man, chicken man, chicken man. They done caught the chicken man, y'all. They done caught the chicken man. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see if those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. Listen, I'm on a roll. Here we are, episode 6. What is it? Round 6, Community Men. Now, housekeeping, housekeeping, housekeeping. I like to have to put my banners up. You want to support this channel? There's multiple ways. Hit that like button. And once you hit that like button, subscribe. And once you subscribe, you'll be open to a plethora of movies and television series that I have reviewed. Also, my pop culture chats. Also, my show, Stunt Shows and Shenanigans, has come back. We are hitting it, and I've just completed an episode. So go back to that live, Stunt Shows and Shenanigans, where we do the lawsuits of Adams, Campbell, and Combs. That's basically the name of the episode. Go back and check that out. If you want to monetarily support this channel, my Cash App is scrolling down on the screen, and also memberships are available. Y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Y'all, Missouri Slim caught Chicken Man because Vivian had to set him up because they were about to kill her if she didn't let him know where So Chicken Man gets to the house, honey. They don't put a hoodie over his head. And they went to question him and everything. Because see, now what we find out, there's a couple of things that are going on. Because not only is this robbery going on, there's other things going on as well. So Cadillac Richie is involved in more things than we thought. So let's continue. So Missouri Slim gets Chicken Man, and he's telling him, you're going to tell us what's going on with this robbery. Because again, instead of letting Frank Moulton handle it, he decides that Frank don't know what he's doing. And we need to be out here busting heads and killing people in order for people to talk. And Frank's like, that's not how the way to go. We need to be low key, because the best way to get through this is to remain low key and not have all these bodies out here. Because now you got what? Lena's dead. Lena's little cousin is dead. Andre is dead. And then, they had the boy on the lawn. So that's 4 of the robbers are dead right now. Anyways, Chicken Man, one thing about Chicken Man, he is resilient. That little Negro is going to find a way to get out of whatever he's in. So he leaves Vivian in there with Virginia Slim, and he pops out of the window. And he hightails it back to the hotel room. Well, his wife is gone. And so now he got nerve to be a little miffed about the fact that she gone. Where she go? Why she moved and everything like that. Negro, you were on the news. You were in the paper. Your face is front and center because y'all remember when Detective Hudson popped that man in his face, he became the lead detective. So basically what he was doing is just rounding up black folks. He gonna find Chicken Man either way he can. He gonna round up black folks. And that's what Detective Hudson was trying to prevent. He was trying to keep it as low key as possible, but ends up the chief doesn't want no more blowback on him. So they got to keep them little Negroes in line. So he sends his best head buster to do that. However, he's all bravado and he's all brawn with no sense. So they got Chicken Man on the front news of the paper, and then they decided to bring in Frank Moulton. And I guess he thought because he's a detective, he was going to be able to the white guy, I don't remember what his name is, but the white detective just got his head rocked by Detective Hudson. He has calls Frank Moulton in, and basically he doesn't have anything on him. And I guess he thought he was going to be able to break this man, but you're not going to do that. He probably knows the law better than your butt. So as Detective Hudson was clearing out his desk because he's on suspension, he finds out that Frank Moulton is in there. He goes in there and have a conversation, and basically, he's trying to figure out some information. And Frank is like, he's not going to give you any information, but he's got that good eye on Detective Hudson. So they come out, and this is where we get the title Community Men. They come out saying, well, we men of the community, we community men. So this is the title. Chicken Man makes it back to the hotel room. Again, he seems a little miffed because she's not there. She basically tells him, I'm at my sister's house in Birmingham. Ain't no need for us to be there because the police are looking for you. And while he's there changing clothes, here comes the police looking for Chicken Man. And they just picked up some random black man, and then the white guy who gave him the tip is like, no, that's not Chicken Man, he's Chicken Man. And they went to shooting at Chicken Man. He runs out, he goes to the detective Hudson's house, he lets him know what's going on, blah 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 blah. So now we get back to the robbers, because you remember last episodes there was some head busting of the landlord, and they're back in there playing cards. Well, Mac, let me see. I'm skipping all over the place. Oh, Missouri Slim. He figures that since because he's all about trying to make him a couple of bits of change and stuff like that. He figures that while he's there, he gonna shake down Vivian because he can't get what he needs from Chicken Man. So he figures, oh, I know how I'll do this. I'll shake her down for some money and tell her she owed me $50,000. Now I don't know where he got $50,000 from that she owed him, but that's just because he's a gangster. So he's gonna tell her any kind of fee to try to keep her in line. So she's trying to do the numbers game herself, along with the pretty girl. I can't think of what her name, Maxine, I think is her name. She's trying to do the numbers game with Maxine. So they figure that they go to a higher clientele, and they started playing the numbers with the upper high echelon of the white guys, and they were getting their money in. And you remember the guy who Chicken Man owed some money because he hit the numbers? He come in just like some old bubbling idiot. I wouldn't play with them because they ain't pay me my money back. Just talking stupid stuff. Just a bumbling idiot to me. Probably a nice man, but sometimes you got to learn how to just keep stuff on the low. But he didn't keep that on the low. So anyway, she ended up paying him $500, and she still didn't make enough money for them to do what they needed to do. However, they're in the numbers games right now, so she has to go back to Missouri Slim because he stay in the beauty salon getting his Marcel curls and getting his feet and stuff completed and done, his pedicures completed. I digress. So I'm just going to go through the characters and just talk about what's going on. So he's in there getting his pedicure, and he basically tells her, you're going to have to get on your knees and work on me. And so she's thinking that she's going to have to perform a sexual act. Actually, what he wants her to do is to clean his feet. Now, let me back up, because now we got a little bit more information. Because you remember we were waiting for Emerson to come down and to make a play about what he needs to do. We find out that he is working for Cadillac Richie. Cadillac Richie is the one who set up this whole heist, because he was going to set up this whole heist to make Frank look weak for the firm, and then he was going to take over. It ain't working out that way. So let me back on up a little bit. Let's talk about the robbers, because the robbers are waiting for him to call so that they can exchange the money for the loot and do all this other stuff. They're in there being a little antsy. Detective Hudson figures out, well, they go to let me see how they do this. They go back. So Andre, you remember Andre, they got killed and got shot in his back. The guy who runs the shop was his uncle. And so the uncle gives Mac's name. They go, Detective Hudson and Chicken Man go to Mac's hotel room. They go through that hotel room. They find out that he has a ex-wife. The ex-wife works downtown at the jury counter. They go downtown to the jury counter to talk to her. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm divorced, blah, 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 blah. But it ends up, she calls Mac and she tells Mac what's going on. Mac is like, you called me here for all of this. Meanwhile, in between time, the Chicken Man and Detective Hudson are down the street watching all this unfold, and they follow Mac back to back to the lair. Baby, meanwhile, when you get back there, baby Willie is a little antsy right now because they ain't got that call. They ain't got nothing. They haven't gotten that call back from Emerson. And he done flipped the table on the little boy, talking about, I can use somebody, you're sharp, you pay attention, if you go up north, we can make a lot of money. He says, these gangsters are old and they're not reliable. We need to be in here, we need to take this game over and all that, and I need somebody to do that. And the little boy was like, no, I'm loyal to Mac. Mac is the salt of the earth. We're gonna do what Mac says, blase blase blue. In the meantime, in between time, Frank Moulton kills Missouri Slim. Now this all happens in the beauty salon with Vivian there, because Cadillac Richie sets up and puts a little bug in Moulton's ear about how Missouri Slim wasn't too happy about his leadership. So he goes over there to Missouri Slim and talks to him. Honey, guns and everything get to flying and popping, and it ends up that Vivian is the one that pops Missouri Slim in the head. She, he's pruned from the timeline. Frank Moulton goes back to the hotel. He tells her, you're going to have to handle this. So she has a breath of fresh air, because now she don't have Missouri Slim on her neck talking about $5,000 he owed her 50. So that debt is gone. So we find out that Cadillac Richie is the one that set this robbery in place. And Cadillac Richie is trying to make sure all of the ducks and things like that, so nothing traces back to him. So he calls Emerson in because he's at the batting cage, and we find out that Cadillac Richie used to be a baseball player. And in Jekyll Island, he gets up there and he gets accosted by some white guys, and they beat his knee, so he couldn't play ball anymore. And this is how he got into this little life of crime. And so he tells Emerson, you need to take them down to Jekyll Island, shake them down at Jekyll Island. And then all the people who rob, he want all of them gone. He says, whatever promise you make them that promise. But all that excuse me, all of that whatever you make them, make sure it doesn't happen. So Emerson calls Mac and tells Mac, y'all need to meet me at Jekyll Island. So here goes Emerson, here goes Mac and Willie and the little and Baby Ray. They going down to they riding down to Jekyll Island with the Detective Hudson and Chicken Man behind them. So old Cadillac Richie out here trying to make fetch. He's out here trying to play both sides to the middle, because he wants Frank Moulton gone, because he wants to be able to run the deal. But baby, I think this is all, oh Lord, what's happening? I think all of this is going to backfire on Cadillac Richie. And I think when Frank Moulton finds all this information out, Cadillac Richie is going to be taking a permanent retirement. What y'all think? It's we moving. Everything is moving now. So now we need to see what's going to happen to Mac. We need to see what's going to happen to Baby Ray. We need to see what's going to happen to Willie, because they are the final three of the robbers that are present. I have a feeling that Emerson is not going to make it out, because of the fact that Cadillac Richie is not going to want Emerson to say anything to him. Also, I failed to mention this. Detective Hudson and Cadillac, when they were in Mac's hotel room, they saw a picture of Emerson and Mac. So Chicken Man is starting to realize that all of this came into play because of him. That in Detective Hudson basically put that bug in his ear about, do you not think that this man might be the one that may have set you up because you took his gig? You took that gig, and then you and Silky. So do you not think that they're trying to get rid of him? He's like, like I said, Chicken Man, like Detective Hudson said something to Chicken Man that I think was very poignant. You're not a gangster, but you're trying to be a gangster. You can't have one foot in this life and one foot out. And Chicken Man's like, well, I'm hustling. He said, but you won't have to figure this out, because you got real gangsters trying to kill you. You're not built for this life. You've got a good family. You got a good wife. You got a good family. You're not built for this. You need to let this go. You need to leave this alone. So we're going to see what's going to happen to Chicken Man. But he's trying so hard to, in his effort to try to be close to the big dog, he mess around, and then put all of this in motion, and all these people are dead, and all of these things are going on. Because he's trying to be the big dog. So we're going to see what happens in episode 7. So I'm caught up with Fight Night. What do y'all think? Are y'all enjoying this? Because at first I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. It just seemed like it was moving slow. Like this didn't have as much action, but it gave out more information. We got an extra piece of the puzzle because I was trying to figure out why was Emerson uh robbing all these folks. Did he think he was going to get away from it? Well, his boss told him to do it. His boss was the mastermind of this whole plan. So we're gonna see. I bet you Richie, I bet you there's somebody waiting for Emerson and the crew. Richie's gonna have all of them killed out there in Jekyll Island. So, but we will see, child. We will see. y'all, I'm enjoying this show. I really am enjoying this show. I still hate that it bumped Bel Air to where we could see episode, but I'm still enjoying the show. We've got probably two more episodes, episode 7 and episode 8. I think that we got two, unless we're going to, what are we doing? We doing 10 rounds, 12 rounds? How many rounds do we do in boxing? Y'all let me know down in the comments. So I know we got some rounds and stuff like that. But I'm enjoying this show. There's a lot of stuff going on. Shout out to Kevin Hart. Shout out to Samuel L. Jackson. Shout out to Taraji P. Henson. Shout out to Terrence Howard. Shout out to Don Cheadle. Shout out to all the other actors. I am really enjoying this show. So we're gonna see this limited series. We're gonna come to a conclusion. Do you think Frank gonna find out about the plot from Cadillac Richie? What you think Frank gonna do when he finds out? Or are they gonna prune Frank from the timeline before then? Because Frank seems to be a very uh uh he has all his little ducks and things in a row, and he seems to be catching on to things that you don't think that he's going to catch on to. So we will see. Again, y'all know the deal. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell that coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand. See, that's y'all problem. Y'all not telling that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos and you being bothered. Let her come over here. Let him come over here so that we can make she can see these videos. And as always, people, bye.